My name is Hannah. For many years, I waited, I cried, and I prayed. Every morning, I woke up with the same question in my heart. Why God? Why not me? I saw other women holding their children, smiling, laughing, living full lives. But me, I had only silence. I touched my stomach and whispered, "Will I ever be a mother? Will you ever hear me?" Sometimes I felt strong. Sometimes I wanted to give up. I asked myself, maybe God forgot me? Maybe I'm not good enough? But deep inside, I heard a small voice say, "Don't stop believing." Every day I tried to smile, but my heart was breaking. I helped others. I cooked. I worked. But my mind was always asking, why does God bless everyone else but not me? At night, when the house was quiet, I cried on my bed. No one saw me, only God. I whispered, "Are you there? Do you hear my tears? Do you see my pain?" Many people in my village laughed at me. Some said maybe God closed her womb. Others said maybe she did something wrong. Their words cut my heart. But I told myself, no, I will not stop believing. God still has a plan. One day I went to the temple. The road was long, but I walked alone. When I reached the gate, I fell to my knees and prayed. Tears ran down my face like rain. I couldn't speak loudly, only my lips moved. Inside my heart, I said, "God, if you give me a child, I will give him back to you, I promise." I cried for a long time. My body was tired, but my soul felt lighter. A priest named Eli saw me and said, "Go in peace. May God give you what you asked." I looked at him and felt something inside me change. I didn't know when my prayer would be answered. But I felt hope, small but real. When I walked home, I smiled for the first time in a long time. I said quietly, "Maybe this is the beginning of my miracle." That night, I looked at the stars and spoke to God again. "God, I don't understand your silence, but I will keep my faith. Even if you make me wait, I will still believe." I learned something that day. Faith is not about getting what we want fast. Faith is trusting even when life is silent. Faith is walking with tears and hope together. So I kept praying, I kept believing, and I waited. Not with fear, but with faith that one day, God would hear my cry. Days passed. Weeks passed, but I didn't stop praying. Every morning I said to myself, "Will today be the day, Hannah? Will today be the day God answers you?" Sometimes I woke up strong. Other times I woke up tired and weak. I looked at the sky and whispered, "God, are you still there?" I tried to believe, even when I didn't see anything changing. Sometimes my heart said, "It's useless." But my faith said, "Keep going." Then one morning, something felt different. I can't explain it. It was like peace entered my body. I smiled without reason. I placed my hand on my stomach and asked softly, "Could this be real, Lord? Could this be my miracle?" Days later, I knew it was true. I was going to be a mother. My tears became smiles. My pain became praise. I cried again, but these were happy tears. I fell to my knees and said, "God, you heard me. You didn't forget me." I promised, "This child will be yours. I will never forget what you did for me." The months went by. Every kick I felt inside me reminded me that God was alive in my story. When I finally gave birth, I held my baby close and said, "You are my Samuel because God has heard me." Sometimes when I watched him sleep, I asked myself, was all my pain worth it? And I answered, yes, every tear led me here. When Samuel was still a small boy, I remembered my promise to God. I looked at him and whispered, "My son, you belong to the one who gave you to me." I knew what I had to do. I had to give him back. I dressed him gently and took him to the temple. The same place where I once cried alone was now the place I came to smile with joy. I held his hand and prayed, "Thank you, God. You took my pain and turned it into purpose." When I left Samuel with the priest Eli, my heart broke again, but this time it was not sadness. It was peace. I looked up to the sky and said, "You are faithful, Lord. You turned my waiting into a blessing." I walked back home with tears falling down my cheeks, but my heart was full of light. I realized something powerful. God's timing is never late. He waits until our hearts are ready. He turns pain into faith and faith into miracles. So now, when people ask me, Hannah, how did you keep believing? I tell them, because faith is not about seeing. It's about trusting. Even when God is silent, He is still working. If you are waiting like I once waited, don't give up. Don't lose hope. Your tears are not wasted. God hears every word you say, even the ones you cry in silence. And one day you will also say, He heard me. God is never late. My friend, if you are waiting for something right now, if you are praying and hearing only silence, please don't lose hope. Hannah waited for years. She cried, she prayed, and she questioned herself. But one day everything changed. Not because she was lucky, but because she never gave up on faith. Sometimes God is quiet, not because He forgot you, but because He is preparing your miracle. The waiting is not wasted. It's shaping your heart, teaching you patience and building your strength. So even if your eyes see nothing, even if your heart feels tired, keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting. Your story is not over. Your time will come. God has not left you. He is writing your next chapter. One day, just like Hannah, you will look back and say with tears and a smile, He heard me. So hold on to faith, hold on to hope, because the same God who answered Hannah will answer you too.